Oh boy, breaking news here on Bengals Breakdown. Joe Burrow suffering a training camp injury today, an apparent calf injury for Burrow. We'll break it all down, what we know and what happened today. So Burrow avoids pressure, scrambles out of the pocket, rolling to his right. We've got some photos we'll get to here as well as part of this video. Goes down with an apparent calf injury. There's been some conflicting info of calf injury versus calf strain. I think it's just a calf injury. Strain was not specified by Zac Taylor, as some of the national reporters have said. You can see Joe Burrow wearing the compression sleeve, which he doesn't normally wear, which I think is an indication that it was bothering him a little bit. The hope here is it is just a calf. Of course, your calf muscle goes pretty high and pretty low. The lower it goes can be maybe a bit of a concern on that front. I will make note, moments after this photo was taken, he did give a thumbs up from that perspective. So, there's a lot of conflicting info with calf injury versus calf strain. The national reporters are saying Zac Taylor said he had a calf strain. The local reporters saying no, he just had a calf injury. He has been wearing that sleeve because he had some calf tightness, soreness after day one, but then today Burrow injures that calf scrambling out there. It, of course, is a non-contact injury. I will make note, when you hear the phrase non-contact injury, you tend to freak out a little bit more. I'm not sure this is the non-contact injury necessarily because it's the quarterback on the second day of training camp. Unless the defensive lineman is going to get himself fired, it's always going to be a non-contact injury. That's kind of the whole purpose of the special jerseys, not having contact there. So the ideal outcome here is that this is just a calf strain, and there's nothing really else on that perspective, and maybe it ends up not mattering. Again, details here that we actually know. Zac Taylor called this a calf issue. Strain has been mentioned by some other reporters, specifically some national reporters. I think Ian Rappaport, Albert Breer mentioned that too. But I did listen to the audio of the press conference. He didn't mention strain. Now, maybe there was something else behind the scenes that was mentioned or reported or whatever, but there is some early conflicting information here. Either way, a Burrow injury would be a damn nightmare for the Cincinnati Bengals. That would sink the season if it is a severe injury. That is there goes one of our magical year windows we have with a young, cheap Burrow under contract. It would be the worst possible outcome and absolutely deflating for a franchise with about as high of expectations and hopes and excitement that I can remember having, even dating back to those prime Carson Palmer years. So what is your panic level right now with the Joe Burrow injury? Scale this for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. That is today's pinned comment. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. I am hoping this is just a calf injury, because right now, like when I first saw the video and you got Joe Burrow scrambling, I'm not going to show because we don't own the rights to it, scrambling out there, and then he just pulls up and grabs it and goes down. I'm like, oh boy. Ooh, well, that worried me. The hope here is it is just a calf strain, and it is just a minor injury. You'll see the calf strain go from anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, so you shut him down, cost you the rest of training camp. I know Joe Burrow was excited to actually be out here during camp in the preseason because he had the COVID-shortened non-existent camp in 2020, had the appendicitis, missed some time, etc. It was all kind of crazy there. The hope is it's just that. If it is just a calf strain, it's about as good of a scenario as you could hope for right now. You shut him down for the rest of camp. You shut him down for the preseason. You put him on ice until September. Because let's be honest, Joe Burrow it's not like he's going to forget who T. Higgins is, or forget how to throw the ball to Jamar Chase, or get the ball to Tyler Boyd. So it's not like it's a rookie quarterback. It's a proven, experienced top 3 quarterback in the entire NFL. Would not be the worst thing in the world. It's just this time of the year seems to be pretty bad for Joe Burrow. Last year, July 26th or whatever it was, he has the appendectomy that took him out for a bunch of time. This year, it's the calf, hopefully just a calf injury in the end. Now, we will keep you guys covered with everything going on around the Cincinnati Bengals, so make sure you are subscribed. Knock on wood, nothing else bad here to come for the Bengals, and it's just a calf strain. Everything's good to go there. That's what we're going to hope and pray and operate under here moving forward. but it is a wait-and-see situation. So make sure you guys are subscribed for more free videos, youtube.com/BengalsTV. What actually does concern me a little bit is that Burrow was wearing that compression sleeve. That calf was a little bit sore, and I would assume the training staff knew about it. They said, hey, there's no risk of injury, you're fine, because it's July. You don't want to push or press anything, especially when you don't have the options available behind Joe Burrow to survive if it is a severe injury. It's Trevor Siemian, it's Jake Browning. I don't know about you guys here, or about you guys, but I think if Trevor Siemian starts 17 games, the hopes of Super Bowl run, back to the playoffs, winning another champion, or a championship, I should say, I think at that stage it all kind of goes out the window for the Bengals. That it wouldn't be a viable option. You need to have the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Like the point of the cheap young backup is if Burrow goes down, your season's over. There aren't really viable options out there unless we suddenly decide to think that, hey, Carson Wentz can do something, or I don't know, maybe going to bring Brady out of retirement or something wacky like that, right? So put your prayer emojis for me in the comment section. We'll send the good vibes out for Joe Burrow and hope that in the end, this is just a minor injury and it's just a little calf strain and everything will be just fine from that perspective. I will make note, Burrow did give the thumbs up, which, hey, sometimes that means something, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully it is. Look, the way medical science works these days is you're normally able to identify pretty quickly what the injury probably is, if it's just a calf strain or if it's the dreaded A word, the Achilles, which I hope is not the case here. That'd be a nightmare scenario. I will be heartbroken for myself, for my family, for Bengals fans everywhere, because they're all Bengals fans. My family is. I am too. The Bengals organization, Burrow, everybody involved, if it is bad. It's a nightmare scenario because you have one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the entire NFL on your roster. He's played awesome. He's gotten the Bengals to as high as they've been before and represents their best chance to get even higher than what they've been able to do from that perspective. Burrow's huge for this team. And it's also doubly heartbreaking because he hasn't gotten paid yet. Now, I would hope that the Bengals would take more of the Dallas Cowboys approach when Dak had that brutal ankle injury, leg injury, that they still found a way to make it work. But it does throw that little bit of pause into your sentence of hey, they just paid Burrow. Who's hurt, right? Burrow is primed to become the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. He's earned that money. But the NFL also approaches things of, it's not what you've done for me, it's what we think you're going to do for me. If it's just a calf strain, no concern, everything's good to go. Keep moving forward from that perspective. Give him big-time guaranteed money, and don't do him dirty, is my mindset. Make sure you pay him. Even if it is bad, I think he'll be back at some point, and it'll all be okay. But again, what we know so far, the only things we actually know for certain, Joe Burrow, as you'll see through these photos here, came up limping, got hurt. Calf injury is what Zac Taylor has said that it is. Uncertain beyond the actual details how severe it truly is, but he did come up limping with that calf. He was wearing the right compression sleeve on it. You got guys like Joe Mixon over there checking him out. Hopefully it is a calf and it's not an Achilles, because that would be the absolute nightmare scenario for the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll do the MRI, etc. stuff to really identify what the injury is. But for now, we sit and wait and pray and hope that Joe Burrow is okay. Otherwise, it'll be one of the most heartbreaking July injuries in recent memory.